Welcome to Rosalia and Veronica's podcast. We're your hosts, Rosalia,
Veronica, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking about our mom.
Our mom had 6 kids, and I am the second oldest. I am the oldest daughter.
And I'm the 5th child, so I'm the second youngest.
Our mom was married 6 times.
6 times.
And our dad was the second marriage. If you follow us on TikTok, you'll know a little bit about that.
We can talk about our mom's 6 marriages. So her first marriage is our oldest brother's dad, and he's the only one without a different dad from us. And then her second marriage is our dad, and they had 5 kids together.
Her third marriage was the third marriage was a nightmare for everyone.
The third marriage is, I guess we won't go into a lot of detail.
But during that marriage, we did get taken away from our mom.
Correct.
And
it was tough on everybody. Yeah, we'll skip that marriage.
Okay.
The fourth marriage,
The fourth marriage was, I guess you could say, was my fault. I had a best friend. Her name was Jenna. She's still my best friend. But we had this crazy idea that it would be so much fun. And we decided to try to hook our parents up. And it worked.
Crazy.
And
that was also a nightmare for us.
It was also a nightmare. We had no idea. Obviously, as kids, I didn't really know too much about her childhood. She didn't really talk about everything that went wrong, and so it was. I just saw I don't know.
Let's be sisters. Kinda.
Yeah, we just really wanted to be sisters.
Live together. And they were together all the time.
Yeah, so. And we thought oh, wow, we'll get double the money to go to the mall with because our parents are married. And it was the complete opposite. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, that marriage was crazy.
Yeah, it was. They had a very toxic relationship.
Very toxic. So we should probably skip that marriage too.
Okay.
I don't think we should go into real detail about it,
Yeah.
So, but it was very toxic and it was a nightmare as well.
Maybe someday we'll have Jenna on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
We can all talk about it.
And we also want to have our mom on the podcast, so maybe she can talk about it.
Yeah.
And why she chose to stay that long and put us all through that.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll skip that marriage. So the fourth marriage was...
No, that was...
The fourth. The fifth marriage was Joe, right?
Yeah, Joe.
Joe, I don't know where she met him. Do you remember where she met him?
I don't know. It had to have been... I think she was working at 7-Eleven and he came in.
Oh, okay. I was 13 when they got married. I was 13. She already had moved, you were living...
I lived next
door to us. She had her first child. And that marriage was weird, only because he was always in the room. He never interacted with us at all. I feel like we knew nothing about him. And also my mom eloped on all her marriages. So... Yes. She just come home one weekend and be like, hey, I got married this weekend.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Every single time it was crazy. It's none of them were ever planned, and she never had a wedding besides the first one.
Yeah.
She had a big wedding. So, yeah.
I didn't really know Joe. I think more so because I was outside of the home. So I definitely didn't have a relationship with him.
I think he was my mom's first husband that had a little bit of money. And she was like, hey, you got a little bit of money.
I don't have to take care of you.
Yeah, we can just take care of ourselves, basically. That's how I felt like the relationship was. Because I think they went half on everything, I'm pretty sure. And that's probably the first marriage that it was like that for her. So...
And I can't say 100% why it didn't work out. I don't really know, but I think...
My mom was crazy.
Well, yeah, but I think it's because he had children from another marriage, or maybe they weren't even married, but he had children.
He was married.
And he would take care of his kids as he should, paying child support, and then when they'd call him up and be like, hey, Dad, I need this or I need that, he'd get it for them. And our mom did not like that at all.
Which is so weird to me because...
Wouldn't you want to marry a man who takes care of their kids?
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Like, that's obviously, I do have a husband and he had a child. So, like, why would you? I don't know. Like, and she expected him to go. We were on his insurance. We got, my mom lost all aid for, obviously, like we mentioned before, she was receiving like all government assistance. She didn't have that. So, you know, he was taking care of us essentially, like financially through his insurance, but I'm pretty sure my mom paid a portion of that. Yeah. I don't know. We don't know details. Like I said, I don't even know him. I barely seen him. I probably said 5 words to him the whole marriage.
And how long were they married?
Like 2 years, because when
only 2 years
she bought the house, they were still married.
Yeah, she bought a house 15. And they were married, but she made sure that he was not going to be on the deed or whatever.
Right. For the house. So the house was in her name,
and that he had no rights to it. She made sure whatever she did in the legal paperwork, she wanted to make sure he wasn't going to get a cut of that house.
And even when they got divorced, she was still low-key stalking him.
Yeah.
And he found another woman and everything, but I think she stalked all her exes.
She probably still does.
Okay, well, so that's the 5th marriage. And then the 6th marriage was, what's his name? Santos.
Right? Because the other guy, Gal, was not even
They didn't even married. But she wore a ring. Remember, she wanted to be married so bad.
Oh my God. The guy who was supposed to be number 6, she told me he was going to be in my wedding. Like, she was basically like, you don't have a choice. He's walking me down the aisle. Like, he's going to be in the wedding. And I was like,
I remember that.
I don't even know this guy.
She wanted our kids to call him No, which is grandpa in Italian. And
that was a no for us.
It was definitely a no. Okay. Absolutely not for us. Like, none of our kids, no. But yeah, that was just a situationship. It came and went really fast, and then she met Santos, and then
who seemed like the same person. We got them confused.
They looked exactly alike,
and they both did the same thing, flowers.
Right. So Santos has his own business. I'm pretty sure he still has it.
Yeah.
And my mom, I think, liked that he essentially had something going for himself, I feel like.
And that she didn't have to take care of him.
Right. He had his own place, which he never moved in. Like, he would still have his own place because his brothers were living with him. I mean, he stayed the night sometimes. Like they're kids. But he did stay the night sometimes. And that relationship, he spoke no English.
Yeah.
So, like, when I said in one of my TikToks, we didn't even know what he was talking about.
She would make us be like, oh, say hola, or like, we're like.
And my mom's fluent in Italian, so she thought she knew Spanish, which it's not even. She would literally
Spanglish.
Yes. What are you talking about? Like, what are you saying?
We even knew she wasn't speaking Spanish.
He knew she wasn't. He'd be like, yes, see, like, he don't know what she's talking about. But yeah, he was okay. Like, he didn't speak a lot of English, but I feel like
I think he was okay in the sense that he like had a business, but I think it wasn't doing that well.
He also had
she
kids.
Felt like she needed to save him, and that's what she likes to do, is save people.
Yeah.
So he
had 3 kids as well, and and I believe their mother passed away, so my mom kind of stepped in for a little bit, and she was like a really good stepmom for like a little bit.
Yeah.
Which we never even experienced what we seen.
Right, because she was not like that with us.
Yeah, so it was a little weird. Like, she was,
especially as adults.
Yeah,
adult children were like, okay, you didn't treat us like that.
Right.
You didn't do those things for us.
Right.
So it was kind of hard to see, even as an adult. And
yeah.
And it's not that we had anything against those kids.
Oh yeah, they were.
It's just they were good kids.
Yes, they were.
But it's just like we were your kids too, and we didn't get that treatment.
Yeah, and it only lasted not very long. But yeah,
I think she got. I ain't even gonna say it. I was gonna say I think she got him his green card, and that was it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it was, more so. Like, yeah. But I mean, she literally used his flower company to do my wedding.
Oh yeah, my wedding too.
She came through a little bit.
Oh wait, no, not my wedding because she wasn't with him.
She wasn't with him yet.
Yeah,
she was with the other guy.
Yeah,
the situationship. So yeah, she came through and she did all my bouquets and all that stuff through his company. Does she still talk to him?
I don't know. Probably.
Because they used to sell plants and flowers and stuff at the swamp meet. So I wonder if they...
She probably still does.
She probably does, yeah. And I know she stole his van or kept it or he gave it to her.
No, that was not him. That was from Gal.
Oh, that wasn't Santo's van?
No, that was Gal's van. See, we be confused. They're like the same person.
They are the same person. They had to be. But okay, so that's the 6 marriages.
And they all affected us differently. I would say they more so had a negative impact in our lives. There wasn't any positive from any of them.
Well, none of them were like father figures.
No.
Not one. Not even our own.
So even with 6 marriages, five dads for us, we still didn't have a father figure in our life.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Which I feel like if we had a little bit of a father figure, our lives would have been so much different.
Yes.
But we just didn't have that. So
yeah. And we all chose men that were like men she chose.
Exactly. Literally.
And if we would have had one that was positive,
I think it could have
our
changed.
lives could have been maybe a little different. I mean, we saw what we saw, and so we did the same.
We followed, basically.
But luckily, we woke up.
Oh, yeah. I'm woke.
We're wide awake. We've been awake.
Yeah, we'll get into that further down about our relationships.
Okay, we're going to get into Mama's work ethic. So she was a workaholic.
Yes.
And I know for a fact she got that from her parents, and that her parents told her you had to work hard for everything that you have.
Because that's what they told us.
Yeah.
Essentially, they feel like since they had to work for everything they had, that it should be like that every generation.
Which is crazy because our grandparents are like millionaires. They own 10 houses, have all this property, and they have 4 children, and they, to this day, tell their children that they still need to continue to work hard, and that when they finally pass, that they'll get the properties.
Right. So, which is crazy to me.
So that's how our mother was brought up, that you work hard. And so that's what she did. She had 6 kids who needed her, but she felt that she needed to work hard, which, yes, she was a single mother most of our lives, but being a single mother, she got all the assistance that she possibly could. She was on welfare. She had Section 8, WIC, food stamps, everything, you name it, she had it. And I'm not putting any like shame on her, because I used assistance too.
And so did I. I've been through it too.
So I'm not shaming her for that, but it's just the fact that she wanted to stay on it, and she did everything possible that she could to stay on it. So if she worked too many hours, she made sure that the next pay period, she wasn't going to work that many hours. That way she can continue to stay on. And, but she worked so much that a lot of it was under the counter. I'll tell you that. It was. Yeah. And she had jobs like the swamp meet and
7-Eleven, Pizza Hut, no, Papa John's.
Yeah, the Doughboy donut.
There were so many pizza ones like Howard's Pizza, Hungry Howie's.
Yeah. And she did a lot of the work under the table. So it's not even that she was claiming that stuff. So it didn't affect her for her assistance, but she made sure that she worked so much. I feel like to show her parents, like, hey, look, I'm working this hard, but nothing to show for it.
Yeah, like what did she get out of it. Like, she had none of her cars she bought. My grandpa bought her cars for her, for the most part, cash. And she didn't even buy her first house until I was 15 years old, which her parents probably put down most of that. And then she had her kids paying for the house, essentially, because she
charged everybody rent.
She charged all of us rent. The day you turned 18, you had to pay rent. So literally, we paid off her mortgage. I want to say she didn't pay like nothing of her mortgage, because when she bought the house, two of my sisters are already 18 years old and over. So she was already charging them $500 each. This was in when she bought the house?
2009.
2009. So can you imagine? And I'm sure her house was not that much money.
Her mortgage was only what, like
$1,200, $1,500?
No, it was not even. I don't even think it was $1,000, to tell you the truth.
Well, because our grandparents put down a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, it was not that much. So like I said, like, we were paying everything and literally lived there for years. So, I mean,
her house is paid off.
Yeah, her house is paid off.
It's been paid off for years.
My grandparents bought her a house and her kids paid for it. There you go. That's the best way to say it.
Yep, that is.
And that's true. Exactly how it went down. So
that is so true.
And she's gonna leave that house to someone that didn't even put $1 into it.
Yep, our older brother,
which is sad. So yeah, that's how that went down. But yeah, she worked all these jobs, and then, like I said, nothing to show for her. Where's all the money at?
Yeah.
I'm just, even till this day, like, she was in debt a lot, like credit cards. My grandparents will bail her out. Like, why are you in that much debt? But you got 3 jobs. I'm confused. And you're on all these assistants.
Yeah.
And that's where I didn't want to go wrong. I didn't want to be like that.
Oh, no. I watched her struggle.
Yes.
And I knew that I didn't want to be anything like that. I took notes. All of my childhood.
100%.
I knew that I didn't want to ever have anybody have to come to my rescue and pay off my credit cards.
Yeah.
So I'm scared to be in debt.
Me too.
I literally, if I put something on the credit card, I'm like, oh my God, I have to pay it off right now.
It like freaks you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even so much like my credit score. Obviously, we want to have good credit. Yeah. But it's more like, oh my gosh, first of all, this is another payment for what? And like, it's a little scary. It's essentially money you owe. Like, it's not money that is just yours. You got to give it back. So you don't want to do that. Well, some people do. No shame. If you do that, I know times is definitely hard right now for a lot of people. I feel like times now is okay. Like, if you got to use a credit card, for sure. But
we're talking about our mama back then.
Yeah, back then where groceries was like $50 a week for 6 kids.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's crazy. And she worked at a grocery store where she got, I'm sure, 25% off. Mm-hmm. Save a lot.
Yep.
She
was saving a lot.
She was saving a lot.
Locking the fridge.
And she used to lock the fridge, y'all. I forgot about that.
How can you forget?
That's crazy. So yeah, you work all that, put food in the fridge with government assistance, food stamps, and then want to lock the fridge from your 6 kids? So we had to starve all day. Yeah. You would get a Hot Pocket each. Yeah. Couldn't have no friends come over because they didn't have nothing to eat.
We're laughing now, but it was the honest to God truth. Like, yeah.
And it was sad.
It was sad.
She had a lock on the fridge. It was
sad. What I don't understand is that she finally was like, hey, I'm going to go to school, get an education.
Right.
She became a medical assistant, mm-hmm. even had a job lined up.
Yep.
And turned it down.
Which I can get, because a lot of people go to school for careers and then they don't work those actual careers.
But she chose that one.
Yeah.
She knew all about it.
I don't know. And that's crazy to me. Like, you finally got an actual career. You're not working at 7-Eleven or the Swamp Meat. And then you want to still work at 7-Eleven in the Swamp Meat and making pizzas. And
she could have worked that one job and 40 hours a week.
And made the same amount.
And been home with us to take care of us.
Correct. Instead of working like 80 hours a week.
But she just chose, oh no, I don't want that career.
Yeah. And who's to say why? I guess we'll ask her one day.
Yeah. Hopefully we can convince her to come on here.
I think she will.
You
Mm-hmm. I think she will.
Just because she want to get on our good side.
I think she's famous right now too.
What?
Because she's trying to be our best friend.
Okay, let's talk about Mama's parenting.
Yeah.
And how she parented us. So, our mom was abusive.
Yeah, and I don't think her parents were. Maybe my grandpa.
I think they got hit with the belt.
Oh, okay.
Or I forgot what they called it. Because I remember when I worked for my uncle, we were talking one time, and he was saying that he used to hit them with something, and one time he went and buried it in the yard. So that way he couldn't hit them. But I think that he hit them. I know he hit the boys.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure about the girls. But I'm assuming so, because why was she beating us?
But even then, if you are, like, wouldn't you want to break that, like, tradition that you went through, or generational curse that you went through? Because that's typically what it is. And she would, like, give us 10 seconds. I mean, you got 10 seconds to go put pillows and blankets, because she was coming to beat us, and she would beat us with anything in sight.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter what it was. It could be a wooden spoon, a belt, a crutch, because she stayed on crutches. That's another thing.
One time she had me go outside, and she said, "You go get me a branch so I can whip you with it." And she said, "And you better make sure it's not a small one, because then I'm going to go pick it." I was terrified.
I remember getting beat. Obviously, like, that's trauma. You remember certain trauma. But I think she stopped hitting me when I was, like, around 8 years old. But I would still watch the older kids get hit, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So she started, like, babying me and my little brother, and we wouldn't get hit. But she was still hitting, like, all my sisters.
Yeah. The last time she hit me was when I was 13.
Yeah.
And, she went to hit me. I had been gone all weekend with my aunt. And we went to Universal Studios. We had so much fun. And I got home, and my mom came in the room and just started yelling at me and was like, "This room is dirty." And then she went to go hit me. And I remember grabbing her hand. I, like, caught her hand, and I was like, "You will never put your hands on me again." And I said it so sternly, and she never did. So I don't know. Maybe that's around the same time that it changed for you, and she stopped hitting you.
I was about 8.
So, but I was done.
But she was still boxing my other 2 sisters.
Yeah,
they was fighting each other. So I don't really know.
I never hit her back. I never raised my hand to her. Honest to God, I don't even think I raised my voice to her. I was so scared of the woman.
I personally never disrespected her. So even if she was beating me, I never hit her back. I never called her out her name. Like, we have sisters that have.
Yeah.
So, but they're only doing what they was doing to them.
Yeah.
That's kind of
they just did it back.
Yeah.
Like,
they were tired of it.
Yeah. Everybody was tired.
So yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. But yeah, I was too scared to do anything or say anything. I ain't trying to get beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I remember she would, like, pinch our face, and it would scratch off our skin. And one time she scratched off, like, you could see her nails on my cheek. So she kept me home for 4 days. Yeah. That sucked.
She'd pull our ears.
Oh my God.
Pull the shit out of your ear.
That's why we got big ears.
Yeah.
Oh, am I saying that? No, I'm just saying.
The last episode.
I mean, yeah, we are Italian. They got big ears, but yeah, she would pull our ears.
We got our ears pulled, like, every day.
That's crazy.
Or pinch the back of your leg.
Yes, she used to, like, grab your finger and, like, squeeze.
Yes.
Like,
yes, I remember that.
That's crazy. If she's driving, she would put her hand back there and just smack whatever was present.
Pull the shit out of your hair.
Yeah,
like, literally drag you by your hair.
So yeah, that was toxic.
Very toxic.
Anyway, we ain't like that. We
don't
hit our kids, and that's why. Like, first of all, what does that solve me?
Nothing.
And then I don't know if she felt bad, but I would personally feel bad.
I don't think she felt bad. She's never, ever once apologized.
Well, she still ain't apologized as an adult for all the things she does to us.
She tells us she did the best she could.
Which maybe it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
She
was verbally abusive.
Emotionally, physically. You name it.
Verbally. I remember one time, how old was I? I was like 15. I was already having sex. I mean, obviously, I was a teen mom. I got pregnant at 15. And she walked into my room one time, and I had like a hickey, like right here on my chest. And I was changing my clothes. She walked in, and she was like, "Is that a hickey?" And then, of course, I was like, "Oh my God, like, I'm getting dressed." And she was like, she went off on me, "You whore, you fucking slut." And I was baffled. Like, my own mom just called me all these names. She didn't say, "Hey, let's sit down and talk about sex."
Yeah.
Hey, like, you know, like, I want to help you. Nothing. I was a whore. I was a slut.
That's sad.
And
I can't even imagine that.
I could never even imagine talking to my daughter like that.
I love my baby. My babies. Yeah, I could never talk to my daughter like that.
So, yeah,
that's sad.
And at that point, I felt like I couldn't even talk to her about it.
Yeah, she already didn't call you all them names.
Yeah.
That was already what you were.
Yeah.
There's no point to talk about sex.
Yeah. Verbally abusive, went right into like just emotionally. She was never there. She
didn't know how to talk to people, which she still doesn't. And I think that's the number one problem where we feel like she wasn't there for us. I feel like she just didn't know how to be there for us.
Yeah.
I don't know really her relationship with my grandma and how her upbringing was.
Well, like, think about it. Nona to this day still talks bad to her.
Yeah.
And that's how she talked to us.
She's very
Nona
judgmental.
puts her down.
Very judgmental. And I'm not saying Mama's judgmental, because she was very like understanding for the most part, like a lot of things. Like when we all got pregnant, I feel like she
she took it all out on me. So by the time they got pregnant, she was like, "Oh, another one."
Because every year someone got pregnant right after she got pregnant. So I feel by the time it got to me, I'm the fourth girl. She was supportive, and for the most part, which thank God, because I really truly did feel alone in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, dang. And I wanted to break that generation that was going on, every single one of her girls. And then I kind of felt like, damn, like I didn't even break the cycle. And luckily my mom, she was there in that moment. But emotionally, she didn't know how to be there for us, which she didn't teach us anything. She didn't teach me how to wear a pad. No.
She didn't teach any of us.
She didn't even tell me when to start wearing bras. Like, I got these big double D's in the 5th grade wearing a sports bra. Like, that's not cute. And then, you got your nipples showing at school. I don't know. Nobody told me anything. I didn't know. And I started my period in the 6th grade.
We all did.
And I
remember the day that I could remember it like it was yesterday. When I started, I went to the bathroom. We were all getting in the car. I went to the bathroom because I was like, oh, something doesn't feel right. And then I wiped and I was like, oh, shoot, like I'm bleeding. And then so I was screaming for her to like come and help me. And then she came to the door and she's like, what's wrong? And I was like, well, I'm bleeding. She's like, oh, you just started your period. Put a pad on. Let's go. That was it.
Yeah, I started at school.
There was no emotional connection.
Yeah, like, oh, let me show you. Like, I made my daughter a whole basket.
Yeah.
When she started her first period. Like, I felt like it's and
I'll do the same. Like, I'm going to celebrate it. Celebrate with my daughter. Teach her everything she needs to know.
And my daughter was crying too when she found out. And I was just like, so let me show you how to do it. And then the next day, because obviously she told me at night, she didn't know what was going on, which I didn't know what was going on. I just went to the nurse and the nurse taught me how to do everything. And she gave me like 5 pads to take home because I was scared to tell my mom. So I was told my sister that's 1 year older than me, and luckily she had some pads, so I didn't even have to tell my mom that cycle. And then I finally told her, like, I started or whatever, and then she started buying me my own pads. Thank God, because there was 4 girls, and I'm glad that we never had to go without pads. Honestly, it could have been a mess.
One of our sisters started at school too, and I went into the bath. She had one of her friends come get me, and I went into the bathroom, and then she's like, well, like, I'm bleeding. And I was like, well, you started your period. Like, let me get you a pad and stuff. And then she's like, well, I got one on. And I was like, well, let me in. Let me see, like, what's going on. And then I went in there, and the pad was not on the right way. And I was like...
It was probably on the other side of the underwear.
I just... Oh my gosh.
I can see her doing that. Oh. Like, it just sinks through. It's just sinking off.
I just remember it wasn't on the right way. And all I could think was like, just God, nobody showed you,
Yeah, nobody showed any of us. So, yeah, I didn't get taught anything, essentially. Nothing about this, nothing about sex. She did come to me when I was 15 years old and was like, hey, I want to get you on birth control. And I was like, okay. And then she did take me to get on birth control. I remember that because she was with husband number 5, and it was through his insurance. So we went and we got the birth control, and she had it in her room, and she made sure I took it every single morning. So, but I still got pregnant. How do you get pregnant on birth control? That's crazy. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, she did. I think, like I said, I'm the 4th girl, so I think by the time a lot of things hit me, she was like, oh, better. Yeah, like I learned from, it took me 3 girls to learn this, but let me try and help the 4th one out a little bit. But yeah.
I'm glad your life was a little bit easier.
It wasn't easier. It was different.
A little different.
Yeah, because it definitely wasn't easy. And she didn't talk to us like about relationships. Like we mentioned before, like we kind of just followed in her footsteps.
Yeah.
We seen her be abused, and we seen her be cheated on, and we seen her.
And even like going through those things, like after she finally left them, she never came and like, hey, like, I know you guys just seen all of this, and I shouldn't have stayed for these reasons.
Right.
And I'm glad that I left now, and, I'm going to do better, or like, these are the signs that you need to look for. Honestly, when I was with my ex-husband, I'm pretty sure she knew I was getting beat, and she didn't say anything.
Well, she knew I was getting beat because my baby daddy did slap me in front of her, and she did call the cops. So she already knew when I was 16 years old that I was being abused, but she didn't say like, hey, we need to talk. Like, you need to get out of that situation. You seen what I went through. Why do you want to go through that? Like, she didn't say none of those things. She still allowed him to come over. She still allowed him to spend a night. She still allowed him to do all these things, even though she knew what I was going through.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if it's for the reason that she just wanted us to be happy because she thought we were. I don't know. I thought I was happy. So I don't know per se if that's the reason, but she didn't talk to me about it. Like, get out now. You're young. Get out now. There's no need to stay. There's no need to put yourself through that. Instead, she came to me and was like, hey, you need to marry this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you're having a baby with him, and you need to get a place with him. You need to marry him and all this stuff. She did what she did. She just married all her abusive, cheating, weirdo husbands.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I talk to my kids.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh, I talk to mine too. And if I ever saw my boys step out of line, or I felt like something just wasn't right, I would definitely step forward and say something, because after what I've been through, I definitely would not be I would not tolerate that.
Absolutely not. Yeah, and I would never sit and watch my daughter be abused. Period. No. She would be getting help. I would try and help her, and if I personally can't get through to her, she would be getting professional help. Someone that you don't know, essentially, sometimes that does work. You need to talk to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wouldn't allow it. Even my sons, I would not ever allow them to do what was done to me, ever.
So, as you guys know, we currently do not have a relationship with our mother, and it's for more reasons than we've talked about today. It goes a lot deeper. I wanted us to talk about, like, do you think, like, will we ever fix that relationship? Will that relationship with our mother ever be fixed?
I feel like if it's going to be fixed, we're going to be the ones to have to initiate it. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what it needs. Maybe that's what it needed our whole life, you know?
Yeah.
Because we're just like waiting for her, like, to apologize for something she did to us 20 years ago.
And she doesn't even know
what we're waiting, that we're
even waiting. Yeah. She doesn't know that we want an apology. She doesn't even know that there needs to be an apology. Yeah. Or that we feel there needs to be an apology.
Right. Because in her mind, I mean, she's never wrong.
Yeah.
So if she did do something wrong that we feel like she did something wrong, in her mind, she didn't do nothing wrong. So she doesn't know that we thought it was wrong. She should have apologized so we can talk about it and move forward. Just like she mentioned, we don't have a relationship with her now. I feel like in that moment, what broke that relationship, if she would have been like, hey, you guys are my daughters. Like, I'm sorry that this is happening to you guys, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure we fix it, that it's done the right way. Mm-hmm. Instead, it was the complete opposite. She got lawyers involved. She was totally against us.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't even her kids.
Yeah, I felt so estranged that it was just beyond me that she could even treat us like that.
It was literally like we were strangers.
Yeah.
Like,
we were in that moment when she did all of that. When I looked at her, she was not the mom. She was not my mom.
It was not her.
Yeah, it was not her.
Like, if you looked in her eyes, it was not her. Like, I don't know what came over her to do that to us, especially because, like, us two, we never asked her for anything.
Yeah.
So
if anything, we just want a relationship with her. We just want love from her.
We wanted her to be a grandma.
Yeah.
Like, be there for our kids the way she wasn't there for us. And she is there for a couple of my sister's kids.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like, she's not there for every single kid that they have. She, like, picks and chooses which kid she's there for. And my grandma was not like that.
Yeah. She was grandma to everyone.
She took care of all of us. Like, every single
one. Even our cousins, everyone.
Treatment. It didn't matter if you visit her or not. You all got the same treatment. You all got money for your birthdays. You all got money for Christmas, all that. So I don't know where she really got that from, because she picked and chose who she wanted to be there for. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, I think that we could fix the relationship if we choose to. Like, sometimes I do. I don't know if you ever think, like, let's just fix it and move on. Sometimes it does cross my mind, right?
It's been crossing my mind a lot lately.
Especially because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, in that she's trying to be more so involved in our lives than she was there for us.
Yeah.
From afar, because like we said, we
don't talk to her, but she'll send gifts home with our kids.
Yes. Text us on, like, holidays or birthdays and stuff like that. So
and we don't talk to her.
And we don't even talk to her. Like, zero. Like, I literally had her blocked for months. And I still got her saved under her full name and not mom. So, yeah. It's crazy. I think we can fix it and move on.
I think it's us who has to
initiate it, which I'm okay initiating it. I'm even okay with her, you know, if she even allowed us to talk about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
And like, hey, let's talk it out. And it could be personal. Like, we can do it off the podcast. But I'm just saying, like, even if we did it off the podcast and then we allowed her to come on the podcast and we talked about how we fixed it, It's fine. Like, I know our husbands do not like her.
Yeah.
And
only because they love us so much, and they've seen all of the hurt that she's caused.
Yeah.
And in their minds, they're not going to let that go. They're just not. Like, they want to protect us.
Yeah, and it's also like, it's not their mom.
Yeah.
So they have no emotional or physical connection to her. Like, you know, even though we went through all this growing up, like, she was still our mom. She would still be there for us.
Yeah.
Like, if we got in a car accident or any accident or need any assistance from her, we can call her at 2 a.m. She gonna be awake, and she's gonna
always
be there.
Been there. Yeah.
She gonna be there. Period. So she
shows up when you need saving.
Her. When you need her to save you, she is there.
Yeah.
Like, in a heartbeat. And she always had our backs in school. We could be dead wrong, and she know we was dead wrong, but she still gonna tell them that they wrong and we was right. Period. Like, I've been suspended. I've had referrals so many times, and she told them straight up, my daughter didn't do that, even though I already told her I did do it. She would never do that. So she always tried to get us out of every situation possible, whether we were in the wrong or not. And she was there. Mm-hmm. She was there for those if you need saving. She wasn't there as a mother or a grandmother, essentially. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that we can personally fix it if we initiate it. Now, are we willing to fix it? I think I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
We're adults. Like,
and just because we fix it doesn't mean that we have to have this, like,
strong
relate. Like, we don't have to have her in our lives. You know what I mean?
Because we didn't before. Like, literally, the only time I seen her was when she was picking up rent.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she always worked on the property that you lived on.
Yeah, but she was not
a grandma or a mom.
No.
So, like, I never really seen her very much as a grandma or a mother. That's why when a lot of people are like, oh, life's short, you should fix it with your mom. Do you know my mom? Like,
do you know what we've been through?
Like, and it's not even what we've been through. It's like, it doesn't matter if we fix it. It's still going to be the same what we were going through prior to what just happened to us a year and a half ago.
Right. So we can fix it, but we don't have to have that relationship with her.
Yeah, we don't have to be like, hey, let's fix it, and I kind of want you to be a mom and a grandma now.
Because that's not going to happen. And we have to, initially we know that, and we have to be realistic about it, because she's not going to be the person that we dreamt her to be.
Right. And she never will, because she's doing her best.
Yes.
To her, she's doing her best in sending gift cards on our birthdays or Mother's Day or Father's Day for our husbands. That's doing her best. And that's her being present. That's her present, because that's always been her present our whole lives.
Yeah.
And that's all she knows how to do. And I'm not going to force her to be like, hey, you need to do this. Like, I'm willing to fix it, fix our issues, but I want you to be the mom and grandma you are. No, that's fine. Like, my kids don't need that.
Yeah.
Because they never had it.
Yeah.
My oldest is about to be 14 years old. How weird would it be if she's just like, hey, I want to be in your life now? She only got 4 years left before she's an adult.
Yeah.
And she already has an adult child, which I feel like now that he's adult, he reaches out. But he's also the kid that wants a relationship with everyone.
Yeah. Well, because he's been through so much.
Yeah. But... So like I said, she picks and chooses who she wants to grandparent. And I wouldn't say parent, because she would say, like, she does a lot for my sisters and my little brother. Mm-hmm. But she would do that for us too if we needed it. Mm-hmm. But we just don't. And I pray I never want to need her for anything.
Mm-hmm. I guess looking back, I can say that she did the best with what she knew.
Yes.
And with what she had.
And I totally can say the same thing. Like I said, she did her best, and she thought saving was her best versus being the actual mother that we needed. Mm-hmm. So, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at her.
I'm not mad at her either.
I have like no
grudge.
Yeah,
No.
like no grudge or remorse against her, because we thought we thought she was a good mom overall. Like I thought, oh, she's always there for us and stuff. But then as an adult, we're like,
and once we became mothers, then we really saw.
Yeah.
But okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you for listening to this episode. Download it, share it with a friend,
like it, and subscribe.
We'll see you all back next week. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.